Right, afternoon. Well, evening actually. Yeah, it's evening, 10:35. Hope everyone's okay in the old metal detecting universe. Universe. Wait a minute. Let's mute that. Universe. Universe. Oh dear. Yeah, so I went out today. Went to a location where apparently the first location on the video, apparently there was an old asylum there, but now it's just like an empty field. Now I wasn't able to metal detect there, but near to it was a wooded area. Went in there, and all what I was getting was junk. You know, bottle tops, pool can, thingamajigs, rusty tins, foil, you know, nothing of use whatsoever. So I kind of like thought, you know, this was a waste of time. You know, I'm going to go up and find somewhere else. Well, I jumped on another bus and another hour journey. Not too far from my main permission, but I'd say if I had to walk it, it would have been about 40 minutes walk. But then I would have had to find another bus if I went up to my main permission to get to that location. Now, I didn't really find much there in the old new location. It was a big wooded area, pretty big, but I wasn't finding diddly squat. I don't know what the background information is, you know, historically, on that particular woodlands I went to. But it's pretty big. I know it's pretty big because I was googling it on the way up there, and I was on Google Maps, Google Earth, you know, checking out on the route up there if there was any other places I could probably like go to at another time. Right in. And there is a couple of other places I could probably go to, but I do want to go up there again and check out that area, that new woodlands, another time. I'm not saying when, because it's like 2 bus rides. And it takes about an hour and a half to get up there, approximately. But the only decent thing I did find was caked in mud, and I got it home and I washed it, and it was a piece of bling. Now I don't know when the diamond thingy with jig is, but I don't think it's diamond because you can see that it's not even silver. But the better find I found today was this. I was just wondering if they had like diamonds all the way around the edge, but I don't think so. Like a little pin brooch thing, I suppose it was. So some woman lost that. I found it right against this big bloody wall. Now I think where I was, let me just Google it for a minute. Hang on a minute. Let me just check on something. So I think it was near a prison, not too far from a prison. Where was it I went to? Hang on a bit. Right. Right. Let me go to layers. Yeah, it's not too far from a prison where I was. And it's got like a real big, massive, like brick wall. Part of it was actually metal fencing, but I think depends on what way I went in actually. Yeah, What it is like a long brick wall, which leads along a pathway. there's a road going into the actual prison itself. But I think I actually come across the brick wall, and then I kind of like across the road, and then there's more of a brick wall there. So that's why I found that little brooch kind of thing against the brick wall. The place I went to is massive, very massive. And I was on the going that way. I was on the left side of the road, so the left side of the common. There is more onto the right, but there's also a golf course there, I believe. But yeah, acres. I wouldn't like to say how many acres it was. Probably 300-400 acres, maybe more. I don't really know. I could have walked down the main pathway, come to like a little crossroads, and then turned right, and that would have led me down to a load of fields. And I could have probably just knocked on a few doors, but I didn't have my little folder that I normally take with me when I go out looking for permissions. This, so it's got like me hobby cards, my little notepad and pen. And it's got me a little permission kind of like sheet, so if I get permission, they say yeah, and they want to fill that out, so they cover like the old MCMD £10 million libel insurance. Then I can actually fill it out. But I've got like 3-4 permissions, on farms, pony farms, kind of thing. And not one of them wanted to fill out the actual application, the permission thing, because I think they can trust me. I'm not going to be digging more than a couple of feet down and hitting like a bloody gas pipe or a water pipe or some other kind of pipe and cause damage. So I've still not been able to do my permission at the moment because we still have not had a lot of rain. But I'm going to go up there tomorrow maybe because I want to speak to the landowner. He gave me a tip on someone who's got a lot more land, but I went looking for that particular person from where my permission is to where this other person lives. The one who's apparently got a lot more land than my main permission is about a 15-20 minute walk. And my landowner told me roughly where this guy was, and I went over there and no one knew this guy, so I couldn't get any kind of permission. So I'm going to probably go either up there tomorrow or the weekend, because Friday I can't go out. Well, I'm going to go out. I've got to go to Centre Advice about something. But I'm either going to go out and try to look for some more permissions either tomorrow, or if not, it'd be Saturday. I think it'd probably be better if I go Saturday, because I know that the weekend, more people are going to be at home and working on their land, I suppose. Because if like someone's got X amount of land, they could also still have a different kind of day job and only work on their farms or whatever during the weekends. I don't know. We're going to see how it goes tomorrow. I might go out there tomorrow. I might not even bother going tomorrow. I might go out there Saturday. Tomorrow, if I don't go out to my permission, I'm not going to do any metal detecting. When I go up there, because I've got to speak to the landowner and see if he can contact this other person to see if I can get a meet up with him. And if I can get a meet up, I've got to take the phone number of the landowner, Ron. So when I go over there, I can ring up the guy, say, hey, I'm outside, can you come and meet me? And if he says, yeah, then I can ask him if I can get permission to do some metal detecting on his land. And if he says yes, I've got to ask him to show me what land I can actually dig on. If he says yes. But if not, I've still got that other new permission, which I got about a month ago, I think it was. It's only like probably about 4 or 5 acres. But the thing is, it's been ploughed. But I think he's using that green waste. And that green waste is like, crap. You know, all that kind of like stuff they get off tips, I suppose. You know, you get iron, lead, copper, you know, brass, bronze, you know, probably aluminium, you know, because when I went up to that particular permission where it's been ploughed, you know, my metal detector just kept going off crazy, you know. Every time I swung it, it was like giving me three or four signals in a matter of like probably a couple of yards, you know, kind of thing. And I just could not bear it, you know. So, you know, people say like, you know, you need to dig everything. Well, if I dug everything, I don't think I would have probably got off more than like 10 or 20 yards, because like in that 10 or 20 yards, there could have been probably about 500 bloody hits on the metal detector, because that's how crazy it was, you know. I was also going to do a little bit of kind of like just walking around on there and like, you know, using my eyes to see if I can find anything on the actual land itself, you know, on the ploughed field. But, you know, it's kind of pointless, really, to be honest with you. And not far down from this new permission I've got, this ploughed field, I knocked on this other guy, and he's got 6 acres. And I asked him if I can milk detect on there, and he said, well, he's got to ask his wife. So I gave him my little hobby card, which got my phone number and email, and he's not contacting me back. So I do want to go back and ask him a second time, because I did say, well, if I'm around here again, I don't hear from you, can I just come and ask you again? He goes, yeah, no problems. So I will probably go and ask around there again. But I know not far from there, there's a guy who owns a lot of land, and on the video which I've done on that property, the one which I think is like, you know, got green waste on it, on that ploughed field, I say about a 10-minute walk distance. I spoke to a guy, and he reckons he owns a lot of land, but he won't let anyone detect on it, because he says that he rents it from the council. So I think what he's doing is renting it from the council and then re-renting it onto other people, you know, kind of thing, which I didn't think was legal, but I just don't know. So, but he reckons he's got like 14 properties that he's like bought or rented from the council over the last 10 years, you know, and like he just does not want anyone detecting on there. So, what I've got to do is move further out again, you know, from where my permissions are. I've got to die. If I can't get permission on the one that my landowner told me, it means I'm going to have to jump on the bus and go further out, even more further out, you know, kind of thing. No, there's a couple of fields that I did see, you know, not farm fields, but like, you know, like there's one big field, I say probably about 7 to 8 acres, I reckon. And it's just like, you know, there you got like a public walk path, walk going that way, and beside that you got houses, and as you go down there, you got this massive field, but behind the field you got this like hedgerow, and then behind there you got like farm fields, which is like, you know, well, last time when I went through that area, it had hay bales over there. So I do want to go back over there and see if I can find out who owns those fields with the hay bales. Now, I don't know if it is this person I did speak to. There's another person who I knocked on the door. You know, I had to walk up this creepy, massive field. So I saw a house at the back of it. So I walked all the way up to this house. I spoke to the guy, and you know, he took my card, he took me a permission form, and he said he'd get back to me either phone or email, because he said he can't say yes at the moment because like he's got to speak to his brother. Now apparently this month he's got some kind of event which is only for men and boys, and it's kind of like a camp over, so we want to camp over. So yeah, I've not heard anything from him. So I was thinking about going to go and knock on the door again, but I'll wait until he's at that event, which is near to the end of the month. So like October time, I'll go and ask him again and say, look, I waited until you had your event. Can I come and like milk detect? He's only got like a back garden, but it's pretty big. I'll say about 3-4 acres. And if I do wait until he's had that event and he turns around and says yes, there's probably a big possibility there's going to be more fines there. Drop coins, might be a ring or two floating around. You just don't know, kind of thing. But yeah, that's what I'm going to be doing within the next week or two. Go and try to get some more permissions. Try to meet up with that guy the landowner told me about, and see if I get some permission on his land as well. There is 1 or 2 fields that I know of, like little parks. And I've actually gone through a lot of the actual bylaws from councils, and some of them don't even say anything about milk detecting. It's all it says. It says like, do not remove dirt, soil, plants, seeds, trees, and shrubs. And I spoke to someone about this the other day when I was out milk detecting, and I said, "Does that, would you say that means like remove it from the actual land itself and taking it home, or would you say you can't milk detect there, full stop?" And he said, "No, to me that more seems to him that you can't take it away from the land, kind of thing. If it doesn't say nothing about you can't metal detect, why not metal detect it?" Like when I was out the other day, I was speaking to a guy, and he's metal detects around where he lives, and he's found some pretty good, interesting things. He reckons. He does go on like rallies and events and stuff like that, and he reckons he's got hundreds of like Roman coins. But he has actually done around this, around his area, and he's never been, confronted by anyone. I went there a couple of years ago actually, just to like check it out, and I saw a groundsman there, and he was like doing some like gardening. So I went up to him and I spoke to him. And I said, "Look, is there any chance I can milk detect here?" He goes, "Look, I work for the council, but I don't think the council would really matter, to be honest with you, because it's just like scrubland, really. If you're not going to be on the fields, but you do like this scrubland here, I can't see the reason why you can't." So where the scrubland is, apparently there used to be like on that land, which I spoke to this other guy the other day when I was on there. I was on the fields. I was going along the actual rugby post, not actual on the actual pitches, but they've got like a line, and I was just going along there. And this guy come up to me and started speaking to me, and he goes, "I've done it a few times. No one's come up to me and like had a go at me about it. Not even the people who live around here. They just like don't even talk to you." So I got talking to this guy, and I gave him one of my cards because he said he was going to do some more milk detecting around there as well. One day. And if he does, and I want to go and meet up with him, I can go and meet up with him. But he said, with scrubland here, there used to be cricket field, and there used to be buildings there, but they eventually done away with the cricket field and the buildings, and he's been doing like milk detecting, and he's found a lot of good stuff over there: badges, coins, bit of jewelry, and a few other bits and pieces. The only thing is, at the moment, that scrubland is like waist high with those horrible like bleeding grass, shrubbery kind of crap, So, but sometimes they do actually like go along and like mow it down. But how often I don't know. But you can't really do it now because it is like kind of high, chest high. You wouldn't be able to swing your bloody milk detector in it. So how often anyone goes and like mows that or plows that down, I don't know. But I will be going over a couple more times, just check it out and do around the sides of the the rugby pitch, because there's a little park there which I was going to do, but there was people in there, and I didn't want to be doing milk detecting in this park. Didn't want to be bothering parents and the kids. And on the way on the other side of the fields, there's like a little kind of one of those kind of like keep fit kind of like little things over there, where you can do your pull ups and like your legs up and whatever. I started doing around now, but I wasn't really finding anything. So I thought, well, I'm just going to pack up, and I came home. So I've been over there. There's a couple of places that like used to do car boot fairs. On the way to the place I went today, there is like a place that still has car boot fair, and I didn't realise it was Wednesday. And as I was going past it, I noticed a car boot fair. Then I thought, crap, if that wasn't still running, I could have jumped off there instead of going to the other place I went to today, because it's like, well, to this car boot place on its field, it's like from here 2 bus rides still, but it's like 45 minutes roughly. But the place I went to today was like an hour and a half, hour and 45 minutes. So I didn't really find much, to be honest. I found a few coins, a few pull tabs, ball taps, and a couple of little bits of lead, some iron, which I ditched back, into the what's the name? I found some like Coke cans or soda cans buried underneath, and I wasn't going to dig them out, so I just left them as they were. Yeah, like it's kind of hard trying to find locations around here, because like I'm in between about 3 or 4 different councils, and a lot of them say you can't detect. Now the common where I am, it doesn't even say nothing about you can't milk detecting now. And like, I've gone through the bylaws, about 4 times. I've even got a copy of the bylaws in here. So if I do go around milk detecting, someone from, the council or the well, actually, it's not run by the council, it's run by the Conservators. If someone comes to the Conservators and says, no milk detecting, I can just pull this out and say, well, where's it saying no milk detecting? This is more of a public, land, isn't it really? It's just, run and operated by a group of people. You can't turn around and say, I can't milk detect there if there's nothing in your bylaws, kind of thing. But usually when people come up to me, especially like, from someone like, a Conservative group or someone from the council, they say, sorry, you can't be milk detecting here. I just usually pack up. I'm not going to sit there and like argue left, right, centre with them. It ain't just worth it, kind of thing. What I normally do is say, okay, fair enough, can you give me some information where I can go and milk detect, or can you give me a contact number from, whatever department runs this particular like area, so I can ring them up. And if they say that, I can detect here, I can take their name and phone number. That's what I normally do sometimes, but not all the time, because I know a lot of councils don't allow you to actually milk detect in parks, woodlands, or even commons around here. But the thing is, with my local common, I've gone through the whole bloody like bylaws, and it says you can't fly a drone, you can't sail a boat on the lake, you can't even have a proper boat on the lake, you can't like barbecue, you can't camp, you can't play music, and I've seen all that over there, all of it. And I've even seen the person, who comes along on his like little 4-wheeler, go-kart kind of thing, to collect the rubbish, who actually does work for the National Service, never says anything about those. But as soon as you see, you see someone with a milk detector, he's on your back kind of thing, So, if I go over there and I see that guy, or he comes up to me again, I'm going to show him the bylaws, and I'm going to say, you're complaining about me milk detecting. How about all the other things that people have been, doing over it? You've never stopped them once, because I've seen you. And I have seen him over there several times when someone's over having a barbecue, or, camping overnight, or playing music, or doing something else. I've seen him go past them, and he never says nothing. The one time I went over there to milk detect, he saw me and told me practically, you can't do it, fuck off. But he done me a bit of a favour that time, actually, because I jumped on the bus and went out, and I got my first permission. So if I do see him, I can, say, well, thanks a lot, mate. You know, you did help me out. But there is a couple of places, you know, where they've actually had the fun fair. One of them's already been there and gone. I did a video the other day and I found like about £6 in cash, which was pretty good. The other place where they got a fun fair, they still actually got the fun fair there, but you know, I might go there maybe 2 weeks after the fun fair goes, you know, kind of thing. And you know, if someone comes from the council and tells you to fuck off, then you know, I'm not going to argue with them. You know, you just don't know what land. You know, I know people say you need to get permission. Well, I'm pretty sure there's a big percentage of people who do metal detecting don't get permission on half the properties or land that they actually do themselves. So, like, you know, I know it's kind of like wrong, but if you're going to like do it, you know, this is the way I see it. Yeah, if you're going to go somewhere, yeah, kind of like respect the place, fill up your holes. If someone comes along and says you can't be doing that, just say, okay, I'm sorry, I didn't know. Or you could always say, well, I've looked on the bylaws. There's nothing on the bylaws saying that I can't detect here. And, you know, hopefully you might turn around and say, well, yes, there is. You know, you might turn around and say, well, there is something on the bylaws. And you can pull the bylaws out and say, well, will you show me where? So you're kind of going to win that argument, I suppose. But you still might turn around and say, you know, well, I'm sorry, but I don't want you metal detecting here. So, you know, you're still going to have like that kind of engagement, I suppose. So I'm just going to have a drink of lemonade. Diet lemonade. See, I went up, let's say, where I was the other day. I went to a park where it's got like these big rugby rugby pitches here. It's got about 4 or 5 rugby pitches, kind of like side by side. And I was metal detecting between 2 actual rugby fields. I wasn't actually detecting on the field itself where they play. I was on kind of like the outskirts where people would sit and watch. And this guy come up to me, named Paul. And he's the one who told me about, you know, the scrub land that used to have like a old cricket pitch there, buildings. That's all gone now. And he's metal detected over there. And I said to him, like, you know, why do you think councils turn around and say no nowadays? And he said, I can easily tell you that. It's because like some arseholes that used to detect, you know, anywhere on council land never cover their holes up. And because they never cover the holes up, people's gone along and probably tripped and broke their ankles or injured themselves. And like, you know, or the council's seen them not cover the holes up. And that's what's kind of like ruined it for everyone. And I said, yeah, that's how I see it, you know. But, you know, times change, you know. There are a lot more people out there who do kind of like respect the land, and if they go metal detecting, I'm always covering my holes up. Always. You know, even on the permissions, I always cover my holes up as best as I can. I know it's kind of like hard at the moment because, like, you know, we've had hardly any kind of rain. It's been very hot. You know, the ground's like concrete. And, like, you know, when you dig a big hole, it doesn't fit. Well, it goes back in, but you've still got like the outer layer, which has got gaps in it. And I have actually seen, well, put kind of like the cog back in, and you know, 10 minutes later, I've walked past it and it's kind of like risen up. I don't know if it's because of the heat or what. But I'll try to like do shallow digs now. For now, once it's like been raining and we've got a lot more rain, and the ground's a lot more softer, then you ain't gonna have that kind of like little gap around the edge, because you're going to be able to like squash it down properly and like, you know, and like kind of like smooth it out. Until then, until we get, you know, really good downpour for a couple of days, you know, you're still going to get those little kind of like circular indentations, or whatever you want to call it, of the plug where you've dug out. See, today where I went, I was in a wooded area, and the soil was kind of like wasn't hard, you know. Some places it was like a little bit tough to dig with you know, like a hand trowel. But I've got one of those like military kind of like multi-tool spade things, and you know that was digging through it okay, and you know, put it back in, and the soil was pretty good. You know, it's like flaky, so like, you know, it could cover the whole back up. But I think what it is that it's so hard to find, you know, permissions nowadays. You know, especially from councils. Um, you know, a lot of councils are just going to turn around and say no. So I actually emailed a council not long ago, um, asking. See, this is another thing I don't understand, right? Yeah, a farmer has got land, but he actually rents it from the council. Right now, a farmer is allowed to dig. He's allowed to dig on his land, you know, plough it, you know, plant stuff on it. It's still digging it. But when you knock on the door and say, "Can I have permission to milk detect on your land?" Well, the council, you know, it's owned by the council. So you ring up the council and they say, "Well, no, because you're digging." Yeah. So what does the farmer do? He digs as well. You know, he's ploughing, he's sowing seeds. You know, he's digging, isn't he? Yeah, but he's paying for it. But what's the difference? You know, if the farmer turns around and says, "Yeah, you can like milk detect on my property," then why can't I do it? You know, even if he turns around and says like, "Well, you know, I rent you from the council, but you know, you need to ring the council up to get permission." And I suppose with if the council turns around and say, "Yeah, you've got to get a letter from the council to give to the property owner or the property renter to show that you've contacted the council," and they said, "Yeah, that you can actually milk detect on their land if they give you permission." But a lot of farmers don't really want to give you permission, even if they rent it or own it, you know, kind of thing. Because they're still like, you know, I've been reading stuff, you know, over the last few months, you know, about, you know, trying to get permissions. And I think farmers are a bit concerned about, you know, property damage. But how can you be causing property damage if they're like fucking like going along with a tractor or combine harvester and like digging up constantly, you know, kind of thing? They're actually destroying. Um, hello, Rose. They're actually destroying a lot of the like, you know, history, you know, the artifacts underneath, aren't they? Really. I mean, you see, if you see that, the way I see it, there's so much crap going on at the moment, you know, with people buying land and building like, you know, houses, industrial estates, you know, um, office blocks and shit like that. We ain't got a lot of land left, you know. I know, you know, if you look on the Google map, you see a lot of green stuff here, but here where I live, there isn't hardly any. I've got to get on a bus and go like probably about 30, 40 miles out, you know, on two buses, you know. Well, actually, no, I'd say like 15, 20 mile on two buses just to try and get permission, you know, kind of thing. You know, if I lived down in Kent where my sisters were, well, I might be lucky enough to get more permissions down there, but, you know, because there is a few big farms down there actually. But, you know, I just don't understand why, you know, that with a farmer who's got land and he's like rented by the council, you know, I just can't see why he can't turn around and say, yeah, you know, but, you know, why do we have to like contact the council, you know? You know, if he's actually like paying for it, he's got the right to do whatever he wants on it, really, isn't he? If he's renting it. Now, how do we know he doesn't go out with a fucking milk detector and detect his land? But as I say, I did contact the council to where, I've got like three permissions, kind of like close to each other, but about, I say like if I had to walk it, it's about 25 minutes from each permission kind of thing. And it's all run from, it's all run in that same council area. I ain't going to tell you the council, what name it is, but it's all in that area. But these people do actually own their land anyway, so that's, the reason I've got free permissions over there. But people have turned around and said, like, I don't, I'll be honest with you, mate, I wouldn't give a shit, about you metal detecting on here. But the thing is, if the council catches you, who's going to get, kind of like done, I don't want to see your gear getting confiscated. I don't want to see you getting, like, nicked and prosecuted. If I think about 10 people I asked a few weeks back, 5 of them said, look, if I could turn around and say yes, I'd give you permission right away. But the thing is, I rent land on the council. And I don't want the council coming around and giving me a hard time by saying that, I gave you permission to metal detect on their land, kind of thing. And I don't want to see that happening as well, to be honest with you, but I just can't understand why, you can't metal detect on the farmland, and if it's like rented or fucking, owned or whatever, kind of thing, if they're okay with it. But I did contact the council, as I say, and it was under the environmental department, and I asked them if I could metal detect on farmland that is like owned or rented, well, I suppose like more rented by the council. If the farmer says it's okay with them, can I get permission from the council to say, like, yeah, okay, if you get permission from the farmer, then go ahead. But I've not heard a fucking dicky bird from the guy, from this council. I can't remember the actual department. I don't want to be constantly emailing the guy. So I think a lot of the times, when you email them, they just ignore your email anyway. But I will be like, looking for that fucking contact details and like ring them up again. Because when I actually rang them, I got a message saying that he was away on vacation and he wouldn't be back until like the 18th of this month. Well, I thought, like, okay, 18th, he's going to come back, he's going to have like a load of emails to answer. But it's been like, 2 weeks nearly, and he's not replied. So if I can find those bloody details again, that phone number, I'm going to be ringing him up, say, hey, I emailed you. Can I get permission to metal detect on farmland that, farmers I can actually metal detect on, even if it's rented or not, kind of thing. See what I say? Well, it's got to be rented, isn't it? For the council to say, yeah. But I don't think I'm going to get any luck there. I'm going to have to go out further afield, I think. More travel. Now, I know people can go out with a car. I don't drive. I've got, I'm public transport, kind of thing. But if I had a car, I wouldn't mind travelling like 30, 40, 50, 60 miles, try to get permissions, kind of thing. But I just don't drive. Can't afford it. And now, with all this shit going on, just today they said that there's like 3 more like new laws coming in for the people who drive vehicles. I think they've been doing new laws for the last 6 months, kind of thing. But, I wouldn't be able to afford a car. I wouldn't be able to afford bloody driving lessons, actually, to be honest with you. It's just more like going out and, right, I don't like doing it, but people will probably say, oh, you should be doing that, I find out where you are and what place you are, I'm going to report you. Well, I'm pretty sure a lot of people would do it anyway, they go out and metal detect somewhere without permission. And, that's the only way I can do it sometimes, I can't metal detect on my main permission at the moment because he's complaining that the ground's so hard, the turf isn't going down, properly, and he's more concerned about his ponies. The only other ones I've got is the one which is using green waste. And the other one is next to my main permission, but that's trashy. And all the fucking field, although there's ponies on the other field, it's kind of like all overgrown and like grass, with flowers like up to your bleeding chest, kind of thing. So can't do that one at the moment until the ponies start eating all the bloody grass. But I know that field's like very, very trashy. I've done it a couple of times, but I gave up after about 10 minutes because I was just picking up so much iron. So much shit there. It's unbelievable. No, I was like let's say the landowner gave me a contact detail, and I went try looking for this contact, and I couldn't find him. I asked a couple of people, apparently where this guy lives. I asked a few people, do they know him? And they said no, so that kind of fell through. But when I go up to me landowner, my main permission, I'm going to speak to the landowner. I say, look, can you ring him up? Can you arrange a meet up for me? Can you ask him if he will allow me to take his phone number? So when I go over there, I can just give him a quick bell. Because I think like he lives on, there's like two kind of like caravan sites, and I think he lives on one of them, and they're right next to each other. And I asked people in both of them, and the people I spoke to said, no, I don't know the person. But I know my landowner, Ron, he's got the contact number. So I'm going to ask him to like contact him and see if I can go over the same day and speak to him. Now, I was thinking about either doing it tomorrow. If not, it's going to be Saturday. No, I do want to go out milk detecting again tomorrow. I just like charged up my Simplex, because when I came home, I noticed that the battery was like only quarter full. So, I charged that up tonight. And there's a place I want to go to tomorrow. But I don't know yet. I don't know if to go out milk detecting tomorrow or go up to my permission and speak to everyone and try to get the contact details again. Kind of like difficult, really. I do like going out, but it's bloody hard trying to get permissions. I'll tell you, man, it's really, really hard to get permissions. There, Rose, you've been moderated. Like I said, like I don't really like going out and milk detecting on, like land I ain't got permission to be on. But as long as you're not kind of like out away from people, it's like a woodlands, or a very big common with a load of trees, similar to a woodland, and you're kind of out away, and you ain't got your bleeping milk detector bleeping out, very loud. I can't see what problem is going in there and like doing a big detecting, because I don't really stay out too long actually. When I do go out, I'm only out for about 2 or 3 hours, is that kind of thing. And like, when I went out today to this new place, which is, as I say, near a bloody prison place, I wouldn't have gone there if I was getting stuff from the first place I went to. But I'm going to look on. I don't know if you know this, guys. There's a really good thing which has an overlay on the map. It's called LiDAR Finder. And if you want to check it out, that's the link. Now that'll give you an overlay of any land, like fields, commons, woodlands, or whatever. They give you an overlay if there's any kind of like unusual anomalies, like if it's like a field and there might have been buildings on there before, kind of thing. It'll show you if there's any kind of like outlines of buildings, or if there's any ditches, or if there's any like ring kind of structures or anything like that. So that is a really good map tool to use. And the other one is one called Side by Side, if I can find that one. Now, Side by Side actually gives you the original map and an overlay of the old maps, if I can find it. But yeah, I've gone on some of these maps here, and it doesn't show you nothing. But when you speak to people, they say, "Oh yeah, there used to be like buildings here, like the park down the bottom of the road to me. Yeah, I've been in there, And I was doing a little bit of milk detecting in there until like the groundsman came in, and I didn't want to, like kind of like call in the echo with them. And I was actually talking to them, and the guy said to me, "See that area there? There used to be a building there." I said, "Did there?" "Oh yeah, there used to be a building there, but it doesn't say or show you anything on any map. Either on this is that the right one? Yeah, side by side, or the LiDAR one." I'm going to keep LiDAR open because I'm going to do some searching on it in a minute. And guess what? I want to close my bloody YouTube then. So these like two maps that I've just linked up to you is
two maps that I've
pretty good to look at because it gives you a kind of understanding that may have been there. So over at my local common, there used to be a church there, in the 1900s, but it got like completely destroyed from the German bombers, so it's not there anymore. But on one of the old side-by-side maps, it shows that where it used to be. But I've been over there, and there's no trace of it. No bricks, no kind of like inundation. Of it even being there. So, hello, Mark. There's go. Actually, let's moderate Mark. So, it's just kind of like fucking annoying that you can't get a lot of permission around here. You've got to keep travelling, far, 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 far afield, kind of thing. And it does cost money to go out, because like you got these travel costs, 2 or 3 buses, that's like a fare each way, on each bus, I suppose. Then you need to take drinks out with you. I don't take food, but I do take drinks. I've got to take toiletries because, like, you're going to get caught out. You're definitely going to need to go to the loo, either a number 1 or a number 2. And if you want a number 2, you've got to take like toilet paper and wipes and stuff like that, to clean your backside after you've been. And like to do that, you've got to find somewhere that a part of the woods where no one's like can actually see you, kind of thing. And I've been caught out several times needing to go to number 2. So I got asked a question and I didn't ask it. I didn't answer it. Someone said to me, "Well, if you go into a bush and do a crap, do you like dig a hole and like crap in the hole and then bury it?" And I thought, "Oh, I'm not going to tell you that. Sometimes I might do, sometimes I won't do. Ants, beetles, flies, they need to have a nice little bit of a nosh up, don't they? Sometimes. So sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. Depends how quick I want to get back to milk detecting, I suppose. But yeah, it is so fucking hard, trying to find places to go to around here. No, I could go to Reading, but from here to Reading, it's like a 2 to 3 hour, 2.5 hour journey, and it's pretty expensive on the trains as well. I was just reading an article on my phone actually yesterday, and some guy got charged 60 quid, that's £60 to travel from Reading to London, when it shouldn't be costing that. It should be about 20 quid, if that, kind of thing. And I always thinking like, Reading, I could go up there, if it ain't going to cost too much money. Because Reading, you can milk detect up there as much as you like. All you got to go to do is go to this gym place, and they actually sell you the permit to milk detect around Reading, and it's only £10 for the whole year. So if I was like, covered in money, a load of money, I'll be going up there, several times a year, kind of thing. But I just don't have the money to go up there, kind of thing. The only other place around here that I could go to is Epsom Downs, but they are very limited on permits, and it's first come, first serve. And that means like, I think they don't do more than 20 permits per year at Epsom Downs. So, that's the only two places I could go to. So I've got to keep going out and travelling further and further afield, try to get, maybe the odd one or two permissions. Now, I've been watching a lot of YouTube people on YouTube, where they're going on about, how to get permissions, this and that. Don't give up, keep, persisting. You have to go to that same farm, a couple of times a year. You might get fed up and say, yeah, well, and fuck it, just do it, kind of thing. But, if I went out and jumped on like 3 buses and went out, say like 30 mile, I'd have to lock on like about 20 farms to possibly get one permission. And I've seen a lot of people say, I've gone to like 30, 40 farms and only got the one permission. So, it's just fucking hard, Now, if it was like, down south, if I was down like Dorset or Devon or Cornwall or up north, Manchester, Birmingham, around that area, I'll probably be getting permissions left, right, and centre. But I don't. Wait a minute. Who's Matt to see? Who's Matt? I went to a place which had a lot of pine trees. And, they're not far from me, right? Seriously, there's a park and it's got loads of big trees here. And we all know in this hot weather, people are going to sit there behind underneath the trees. And that's where you're going to get, possibly, the drop coinage, possibly a ring or two, a bit of jewellery, trash, bottle tops, pool can lids, pool tabs and all that kind of stuff. I actually stopped off at a park, coming home from my permission one day, and I thought, I'm going to stop off here, fuck it, I'm going to see what's over here. And there's like 5 trees, in a row. And out of them 5 trees, I found like £3.50, I think it was. Now, I went over to the common, I went up this long pathway. It's like Bemington, near the Bemington tram stop here, where you got to go down Bemington tram stop, past there, walk all the way down till you get to the common, and then there's like a little gateway. You turn left through there, and you walk down this massive fucking pathway. It's like about 2 mile long, 2.5 mile long, kind of thing. And I walked all the way down there, and I got to the park, and I thought, what am I doing this park, mate? But there's just too many people then, kind of thing. And I didn't know, like, how many, like, groundsmen would probably be around. But I thought, I still scout the place out. There's some woodlands down there. And, I cut through this park, kind of thing. And I saw the woodlands, started walking down this woodlands. It's only like a small bit of woodlands, but I started walking down there. And I thought, God, what the hell is that smell? Looked over to my right, and I could see smoke. I thought, holy shit, the fucking woods are on fire. So I've kind of like done the good deed. I took my time by going back out, walked all the way over to where the calf was, which was like a quarter way into the bloody park. Told the woman, the manager of the like the cafeteria thing, told her. She's tried calling the groundsman, and she was having problems with that. When she did contact someone, they turned around and said, ring the fire brigade. So the fire brigade came down. I had to tell the fire brigade where the bloody fire was. I said, look, I don't need wasting your time. I've been gone out. But, when I looked at it, it had spread, and I was more concerned about, a draft might have like, kind of like, blew the embers and like, caught fire again. So I actually showed them where it was, I was able to get there, before the fire brigade actually, because the fire brigade had to go around and open gates with special keys and whatnot. And I showed them, I said, I think it might have gone out by now, but it hadn't. It's still smouldering. I said, I won't waste your time. He goes, no, mate, you ain't wasting our time. He goes, you're glad that, you actually called us, because like that could have just gone up again. And it must have been about, we'll say from here to my wall, right? That's got to be about 20 foot. Well, it kind of like gone along, and it's probably like about 100 foot of like, smouldering embers on the ground. So I was going to record it, but I thought, no, sorry, I can't be bothered. And they got the fire truck down, and it took, even 10 minutes later, they're still there, like trying to put out certain embers, which were like still glowing on trees and whatnot. So I thought, well, I've done my good deed. So I thought I'll carry on. I came out to the other bit of the massive park, and I realised where I was. And I started walking over to those trees where I'd done before, and found like, the £3.50, £4.50 or whatever it was. And as I was walking up, because I was going to go to the bus stop to get the bus, I found £1 sitting there, just like sunbathing on the actual grass. I thought, that's probably my little reward for calling the fire brigade out, But I didn't do any milk detecting that day. I had a milk detector with me, but I didn't do none. And like carrying a milk detector, a spade, and like 5 drinks with you, it kind of like really puts it on you. I'm sweating like a roasted pig half the time. I've got to take extra t-shirts out of me, like 2 extra t-shirts, because I'm like wringing wet, and I had to keep like drinking fluids, to rehydrate myself, so I'm dehydrating rather quickly when I'm out there. So I had to take like about 5 drinks out with me, like something like one of these, 2 bottles like that, a can of energy drink, maybe a small can of like pop, and I don't take food with me, but I make sure I take a lot of drink with me. Sorry, I was kind of agreed to chat as well. But let's see what's name is saying. I was just mentioning Epsom. Like they got the Epsom Downs over there, but like they're limited to 20 permits a year, and I think the permit's like 80 quid for the year. 80 quid. How many people have probably got those permits and gone over those downs and milk detected it, constantly, and taken all the good stuff out? You probably might come out with like half dozen tins of, Pepsi tins or Coke cans or like pool tabs or bottle tabs or something like that, kind of thing. Kingston, Epsom, and Chessington. I don't know if there is any. I don't think there is anything over at Kingston, to be honest with you. I've been over at Kingston. I've been over at Tenton Lock over there, actually. Me and my mate, Alan. I've not spoken to Alan for 2 years. I don't know what's up with him. I know I ain't pissed him off. I think he just moved on with his life because he was doing other stuff here. Met a woman. He's got, his son to look after as well, which I'm thinking about, probably 12 or 14 years old. Right, so I had no contact with him in 2 years, but we used to go to Tenton Lock, and we used to do a lot of magnet fishing over there, and milk detecting. And the amount of like old coins we was finding, the old King George, Queen Victoria, Elizabeth, silver sixpences, car toys, and junk and rings, and not like I can't tell you exactly where it is, but it's on Tenton Lock, and like you've got a lot of woodlands around there, and we just kept going around there, and every time we went down there, we found good stuff down there. I've been planning to go there again actually myself, but the thing being is that I really like doing it with Alan, milk detecting magnet fishing, I've got a video up on my YouTube somewhere where I pulled out 8 bikes with my magnet. But under the Crown, if you look on the Crown website, yeah, there is parts of the River Thames you can actually milk detect, and magnet fish without having a permit. But those particular parts of the River Thames, it's going to be fucking awkward to do because you don't have the water going out. You don't have a tidal going out. Kind of thing. It's still there. And I don't know if you can actually milk detect on the actual footpaths and like the greenery right beside the actual River Thames, because I know you can actually do it. I think you might be able to do it on Richmond, where Richmond Common is. You've got a stretch of wall going across there, and like you've got the little purple outline. So you're on the CMD map. If I can find it. On the actual map, where is it? Oh, I've got fucking bylaws, Lambeth bylaws. I know you can't milk detect on Lambeth. Trying to find a Crown map. See, there's a lot that the Crown still owns, and you don't need a permit for those locations anymore. So they stopped doing the permits to the Crown. They stopped them years ago. And when I posted that on Facebook, I got called a fucking liar. Oh, yes, you do. You need a permit to milk detect on the River Thames. Well, no, not really. There's parts of the Thames which is owned by the Crown and not by, the other department. And you can actually milk detect on the parts of the map which has got the purple lining across it, across the parts of the River Thames and whatnot. So if you check this, right, the Crown Estate maps, it come up with the Crown Estuary, and it'll have a pop-up. You close the pop-up, and if you zoom in, you can see all these little purple bits here over in Cardiff, down on the coast, Folkestone, Hastings, Eastbourne, Bournemouth, Chelmsford, several parts along the River Thames. All those purple bits here, when you zoom in, are parts where you can go and detect without having a permit. Now, if you go over to say Talesbury or Tollsbury, there's a hell of a lot over there, but you got mud dunes over there, like sandy beaches and whatnot. Gillingham, there's Cheltenham, there's places over there you can milk detect, but it's just way too far for me to go, on the day trip. I could go to I suppose along the River Thames and milk detect on certain parts if the tide is out, kind of thing. Down in Thamesmead, all around that area. Woolwich. I think there's a bit near Canary Islands. I don't know. So it even shows you, near Battersea Park, there's along there you can actually milk detect if the tidal wave's out. If the tide's out, you can actually get onto the foreshore and milk detect down there, but you can't actually milk detect in the park because it's run by Battersea Council. Where's that other one I was looking for? where's that bloody I'm trying to find that other one. Can't believe find it. Where's Kingston on here? Down near Kingston, where you got that bloody massive building. I'm trying to find out where it is. Where's Kingston? Let's try to find it down there. That's Kingston, London. Down near Hampton Court. All the river down from Kingston, right, down near Hampton Wick, that whole River Thames, right, all the way past Hampton Court, up past it just says London, sorry. Nearby Sunbury. All that you can actually milk detect along that river, right? But the river never goes out. So how can you milk detect in that river, or on that river if the tide don't go out? I've always wanted to find that if I can actually milk detect along the footpath of Kingston. Now, when you cross the bridge, you've got that kind of like where the boat's more, you've still got like, a footpath with like, load of trees. I want to find out if you can actually milk detect along there. So next time I go to what was that bloody place called again? Not Twickenham. Next time I go up towards Tennyson Lock, I'm going to take me a milk detector and start, detecting along there. The footpathway near the trees. And if someone steps by and says, "Oh, you can't milk detect," I say, "Well, look, hang on. This is run by the Crown. I should be able to like milk detect along here." But they might just turn and say, "No, that's the river." Well, how can I milk detect the river if that river never goes out? You don't get like, where the tide goes down that I know of in that area. I'm not going to be going on like, the Hampton Court land, am I? I mean, I've lost my YouTube again. What was that? That's it. All right, catch you later, mate. Thanks for popping on. I'll see you later. If you know any good places, where we could meet up and go milk detecting one day, let me know. No, as long as I ain't fucking like 50 miles away. But if you find somewhere you want to, like, have someone to go with you. What's that? Unearthed. I've been watching this channel. Yeah, that's fucking miles away though, isn't it, that place? The one, that link you just sent me is bloody miles away, man. So, where my sister lives in Kent, there's like, really big farms down there. You've got big woodlands down there as well, but the woodlands is run by the Woodland Trust. There used to be an old asylum down there because I used to live down there when the old asylum was down there. And there's fields down there, which I won't mind doing. But I don't know if those fields are run by the council or if it's still run by the asylum, which is no longer there. They still got like, the big main entrance, but that's it. I think they've actually got someone who looks after some of those fields down there as well, like a conservative group down there. So I'll have to find out who owns it and like, do some milk detecting down there. Because I know when I was like a young kid, I was just like mucking around and I saw something sticking out and I got a stick and I started like, carving away. is one of those like old farmer scythe things that I found, and I thought, what am I going to do with it? So I took it home for a little while, and then I took it down to Dartford and I handed it into the museum. So I had something in their showcase, so I handed my one in. But I reckon there's going to be some like old farming stuff down there. You got like 3 or 4 big woodlands down there, and then you got like 4 big commons. So I wouldn't mind going down and spending a couple of days down there. The only thing is I've got a cat. I'll have to see if my daughter can look after the cat, or just leave the cat like 3 days worth of food, so I can be out for 72 hours without the cat, worrying about the cat. So I've already spoken to the RSPCA about that years ago. They said as long as you're back within 72 hours and the cat's got plenty of food, plenty of water, and like a clean toilet thing, then you'll be okay. So I am actually going to go down to my sister's one day, pay my mum a visit, my sister's a visit, take my old metal detector down now, and have a go and see my mum. Karen, I don't know that Karen. I know Karen who actually went to, who lives up near my permission, who owns a horse farm. Went to ask her, but she wasn't there. So I handed my card over to this other woman and asked her if she'd give it to her, but I don't know if she did or not. So there's like 3 permissions that I've got to go and like revisit and see if they will say yes or no. Right, well anyway, I'm going to shoot off because I've been on too bloody long. I've been on 71 minutes, so I was only going to be on half hour. It's midnight gone just now. But yeah, there'll be some more videos out later. Let me just click on that link Matt sent me. Yeah, I know that website. It don't really tell you if you can actually milk detect there, though. I think you've got to be a part of the group to go there and milk detect. So anyway, like I've got like access to like 4 different milk detecting groups on Facebook, but all their fucking like events, digs, are miles away from me. Bloody miles away. I can't be going to, and then though, like, and if I could get out to a dig, you got to pay like £25 for the day for the fucking dig. So you pay for your dig, to get into the event. Then you got to pay for your travel. You're talking about 50, 60 quid, man, just for one day. Can't afford that. If I had the money, then if I had plenty of money, I'd be going out to a few digs, taking the train or asking someone if they could pick me up and pay the petrol cost or something like that, kind of thing. And then they pick me up at the local train station. I still give them petrol money, but some of these digs are way, 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 way out, from like the nearest town. Let's say there's one over Birmingham and there's a farm, like 10 miles away from Birmingham train station. How the hell are you going to get to the dig? You're going to have to pay for a taxi. That's going to be like a fucking fortune in itself, isn't it, really? Unless you've got a car, you'll be okay. I don't have a car, I don't have a push bike, I don't even have an electric scooter. That's what I want to save up for, is electric scooter. So I can jump on the bus and go out like 25, 30 miles away and just like scoot along the bloody main road and go past a load of fields and so I can get permissions on these other fields, kind of thing. But that's going to be probably out of the question. Yeah. Wonder if it's something weird. I had like chicken and chips earlier, dinner, and I had 2 chocolate wafer biscuits. Don't know if I'm hungry or not. I just don't know what I'm going to do today. Now it's like Thursday. I can't go anywhere tomorrow, Friday, because I've got like an appointment at Citizen Advice at 2 o'clock. So what do I do today? Do I stay in? Do I go out? I might just stay in and try to do some research, actually. Use that website, LiDAR. I'll see if there's any like interesting locations that may have like any kind of imprint on a land, which I might be able to go and metal detect on. Find out who owns the land, whether it be the farm or council, and just contact the council, I suppose. But I know the council are going to turn around and say no. They always do around this fucking area. Lambeth says no. Merton says no. Croydon says no. What else is there? I think I said Lambeth. I'm like near about 6 councils, and each of them have said no. The only place I can go is like fucking, let's say like Reading, but because of the cost of living going up and everything, especially like I know the bus fares have gone up, and train tickets have gone up. It's going to cost me a fortune to go over to Reading just for the one day. It's going to probably cost me about 60 quid for a return ticket or something, And then when I get to Reading, I've got to buy a travel card to travel around Reading and find some locations, find a place where I'll get the permit, and like look for a place I can go and metal detect for a few hours. It's just like pointless. I might as well just take the fucking risk going to different places and hope I don't get caught, I suppose. You had a kebab, did you? I had a kebab the other night, actually. Yeah, I had a chicken kebab the other night. Chicken and chips tonight. Well, last night, yesterday, Wednesday. Tonight, I'm going to have one of my fucking horrible Indian Katika takeaway things that I've got in the freezer. The other night, I had fried pork and microwave rice. I've been shopping, so I bought some more pork. So that pork will be for Saturday or Sunday with more rice. So tonight will probably be chicken tikka. Don't know what I'm going to have Friday. I think I've got enough bread for a sandwich. So I don't know. Well, anyway, I'll catch you all later, guys. Cheers for coming on. Appreciate you coming on and saying hello. I don't really do too many like updates on this channel if I can help it. But if you got me on notification, when I'm live streaming. Right, good night, Rose. Good night, Mark. Good night, Matt, who's still there. Ian, and whoever's watching. Take it easy. Have a good rest of the week. Have a good weekend, and I'll catch you later. Bye for now.